Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is week 2 for mid-year scramble. So let's go over the point breakdown from last week because I did say I was going to talk to Margaret. So it is 1 book per prompt. So that's what we're going with. So last week I only managed 10 points for a new author as far as book prompts go because I only finished 1 book. And then we had 2 activity prompts that I finished. So I completed a goal, which was to finish that dime painting I had been working on for 6 months, and a bookish hangout, which Ari and I went to the library and we did an activity there. So I'm counting that. So in total we got 50 points for last week. So this week I am reading Sally's Lament, which is a book that I'm also reading for the Connect 5 challenge, the second prompt in the Connect 5 challenge. So we're reading that, and I'm hoping to actually get that done today, so fingers crossed. That is going to count as a previous TBR book because it was on a previous TBR. And then the other one that I'm currently working on is The Gargoyle and the Songbird, which is by Cora Crane, and I'm going to use this for 5-star prediction because I gave the first book in this series 6 stars, and obviously normal people don't use a 6-star rating system, so we're going to count it as a 5-star prediction because I do feel like I'm going to love this one at least at 5-star. Like, I feel like it's going to be at least a 5-star. And then on Wednesday, I will be starting my reread of 9th House, which I'm going to count for fave genre since this is like a fantasy dark academia book. And like I said, this is a reread because I need to reread this before I can move on to the second book in the series, the last book of the series, which is Hellbent. This is only a duology as far as I'm aware. So that's kind of what we're looking at for that. And then as far as activity prompts this week, I would like to complete my goal as per usual. That's always one that I would like to fulfill for the week. And I would like to write a review. I also need to look and see if any of the books that are on my TBR for the week are on the banned or like banned book list. I don't think they are, but we'll double check and make sure. So my goal for this week is to finish 2 books. So currently I'm on track to do that because I will finish Sally's Lament, I'm hoping today, and then I also am hoping to finish The Gargoyle and the Songbird. That would be 2 books. I only have like 3 hours, I think. Yeah, 4 hours. I have about 4 hours of reading time left in this. It's only like a 5-hour ebook. It's not super long. It's like less than 300 pages. So I'm hoping to also finish this week at the very least. I would like to get 9th House done before the end of the weekend, but I don't know if that is going to happen or not. So yeah, I would like to do that. And if I manage to do that, then I get to buy myself a new book. So fingers crossed. And that doesn't count, buying a new book doesn't count anything that is like a pre-order because I have a couple of books that are on pre-order. This is legitimately like going to the store and buying myself a new book. So let's hope that we can do that. But that's really all I have. I'm going to go finish Sally's Lament, and I'm going to record some B-roll of me playing Wildflowers. I don't know how this is going to work, to be honest, because I don't have any way to like face y'all down like nicely where it's like over the top. So it's gonna be a little bit interesting. Hopefully I can just slap some music over the top and it'll look okay. If it's terrible, I'll never do it again until I have like an over the head tripod. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go play Wildflowers and listen to the rest of Sally's Lament, and then I will be back to check in. I'm here to update this second week for Mid-Year Scramble. So I have finished Sally's Lament, and I'm giving it 4 stars. The end had me crying. Okay, so wonderful. For the most part, I really did like this book. If you know the story of The Nightmare Before Christmas, then you will understand what the story is doing. But this is just if Sally discovered Christmas Town instead of Jack. So there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So I don't know how to really talk about this book without like spoiling it, honestly, because The Nightmare Before Christmas came out like 30 years ago, so 33 years ago, something like that. So I don't really know how to talk about it, but if you know the story of The Nightmare Before Christmas, you will know the story that we follow with this. There were obviously some changes to it. For instance, Sally is the one who follows Zero into Christmas Town instead of Jack following Zero, and then Santa Claus isn't kidnapped like he is in Nightmare Before Christmas. So there were some like discrepancies and some differences, but I kind of expected that in a retelling, right? It's not going to be like exact. The Tangled one was like that too. There was like an extra character that was added, and a lot of the stuff that was happening, there were a lot of similarities but a lot of differences as well. And they did pull some of the like quotes and stuff from the movie, but overall I really enjoyed this one, so I give it 4 stars. So yay. So that was for, oh, what did I pick this one for? I think I picked this one for a past TBR, I think is how I went about that. Let me just check really quick. Hold on. Oops. Okay, let me run to my spread because I didn't have my spread pulled up. And then I can tell you exactly what I picked, which prompt I picked that one for. I think it was for past TBR. Yeah, previous TBR. So Sally's Lament gave us 10 points. I don't know that I'm going to write, I don't think I'm going to write a review for this one, just because there's not really a lot for me to say. I did, what is that called? I did rate it over on Storygraph, so I did give it 4 stars. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to rate it. So the next book that I'm going to actually pick up is what is this called? Oh, no, that's not it. That's Sally's Lament, which we finished. So until I haven't picked up my Kindle. I know I have another book. The Gargoyle and the Songbird, I believe it's called. So this is the second book in the Elderberry Falls series. So at the beginning of the year, I read the Orc and the Innkeeper. So this whole series is very like Gilmore Girls meets Legends and Lattes if Legends and Lattes was spicy. So the town, like the feeling of and it's like Stars Hollow if the town was magical. The town gives like Gilmore Girls, Stars Hollow vibes, but with magical creatures. And then it's a very cozy D&D-esque style setup, similar to Legends and Lattes. So it's like Legends and Lattes, but if you wanted spice added to it. So I have started this one because I am reading it also for an episode of KU Cleanout, but I'm on chapter 6, I believe, of this one, and we are following Echo, who is a siren turned pop star, and I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Grammy. I think that's how you say it. Who is hired as her bodyguard after she figures out that she has a stalker. And so yeah, if you've read the Orc and the Innkeeper, we are following the best friend of Mariah from that book. Echo is Mariah's best friend. So this book seems to have picked up where the Inn and the Orc Keeper, I don't know why I keep wanting to say that, where the Orc and the Innkeeper ended. because the things that are happening in this book are in the future. So they're after the events of the Orc and the Innkeeper. So I do like that. These would be considered like interconnected standalones. You could read them individually. There's a couple of different books in this series. I believe there's another 2. I think there's 2 more in this series. I know I have the first one. It's like the Minotaur and something. I don't know who that follows. But I do like that this one is following 2 magical creatures as opposed to like the Orc and the Innkeeper, which followed a human and a magical creature, which was fine. I liked that just fine, but I do like that we're getting kind of the aesthetic of like a bodyguard romance, but make it magical creatures. So really enjoying this. There's been no spice as of yet, but I'm not very far in, so I mean, I'm sure there will be spice at some point, but I'm only 17% in on chapter 6. So I want to buy these though. Like, I'll pop the cover up here if I haven't already. And I love the covers of this series, so I will be buying them at some point. I'm going to add them to my wish list and my other lists that I have going for like books I want to purchase, because I love these. But these are by Cora Crane. So for this one, we're going to do 5-star prediction, because I had already checked that off on my sheet prior to starting this book, because I do think that this will be at least a 5-star. I think I said that already in the last clip, but in case I didn't. And yeah, so I did finish, like I said, I did finish Sally's Lament. I also did play some Wildflowers while I finished that, so there should have been some B-roll before this clip of me just like playing Wildflowers. This does not have an audiobook, so I'm going to try to finish this tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay, and then when I finish this, I'm going to move on to Ninth House. I want to start Ninth House on Wednesday, so Ninth House does have an audiobook, so that's probably when I will pick the Cozy Hobbies back up, is on Wednesday, because it's hard for me to Cozy Hobby and listen to and read a Kindle book. If I do not get this Kindle book done by Wednesday, I will be reading it on sprints and then starting Ninth House. So as soon as I get this one done, I will come and check back in. I only have a couple of hours on this, so it shouldn't take me too long. I have 3.5 hours left, so theoretically I should be able to finish it tomorrow and then start Ninth House on Wednesday. So that is where we are, and I will be back to check in when I finish this, probably. So you may not see me tomorrow at all, just because I'll be finishing this, unless I get it done tomorrow, and then I will come back and check in. Otherwise, I will be back on Wednesday. So bye. Hello friends, I'm here to update. So I had sprints this morning with Margaret, and while I was on sprints, I ended up reading 4 chapters of Ninth House. I did end up finishing the Songbird and the Gargoyle last night, so I ended up reading 4 chapters of Ninth House. I am at my 8 chapters, so I'm 8 chapters into Ninth House. I am enjoying it like I did last time. It's probably still going to sit at like a 5-star. I will say that if you're going to pick this book up, just know that this is a book where you need to be concentrating, even if you're listening to the audiobook. So I listened to the first 8 chapters, and I don't know if Coda and Nicole are still reading this with me. I know Nicole messaged me and said she doesn't have the capacity for a buddy read right now, which is totally fine. But I'm kind of on a time crunch for reading this because it's for Connect 5. So that's where we're at. I just wanted to come in and give an update. Yeah, this is a secret society, dark academia, like thriller fantasy. I don't know exactly what it would be, but it says Galaxy, just for anyone who doesn't know what this book is about, it says Galaxy Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. Raised in the Los Angeles hinterlands by a hippie mom, Alex dropped out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much worse. But in the wake of a horrific crime, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. What's the catch and why her? Still searching for answers, Alex arrives in New Haven, tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies, but their occult rituals are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. So, there's like a blurb from Stephen King. It says, Ninth House is the best fantasy novel I've read in years because it's about real people. Bardugo's imaginative reach is brilliant, and the story, full of shocks and twists, is impossible to put down. So, I'm counting this as a different genre for Connect 5 because, let me think, what did I read? Spell Shop? Was that what I read? Let me pull it up because I do not actually remember. I also made a video today. I did count this for a different genre. I do know that. Keeping these books in order in my head is really hard because I'm reading for so many things. Oh, I read Sally's Lament for book number 2. So book 2 has the same number of words in the title as book 1. I'm counting this as a different genre because I guess technically you could argue that Sally's Lament is a fantasy. However, I'm looking at it as a retelling because that's what it is ultimately. And I honestly think that all of the books in the Twisted Tale series would technically be fantasy because they're all Disney retellings. So I'm looking at it as a retelling. This would be like a fantasy thriller. So that's what we're reading. I want to get this done by Saturday so I can count it for Mid-Year Scramble week 2, and then next week I will be combining Mid-Year Scramble and Sunrise on the Readathon. So this week you're getting 2 different vlogs, so that's really all the thoughts I have. I don't really have a lot to say about Ninth House. I don't know how to talk about this book without spoilers because so much is happening all the time. So that's all I have, and I will be back when I have another check-in, probably tomorrow, because I've already read my 8 chapters. Hello. So I realized that I don't think I ever came and updated throughout reading Sally's Lament, so in case I did not, I cannot find the clips, but it could be on this specific SD card that I'm filming on, so whatever. But I'm here to update you and let you know that I did finish Sally's Lament, and I'm giving it 4 stars. I really did like this book. The ending made me cry. It was such a happy ending. But if you did not know what this book was about, this was a Nightmare Before Christmas retelling where Sally discovers Christmas Town instead of Jack, and I just thought that the imagination behind this was really good. I really did like this perspective of A Nightmare Before Christmas. I've only read one other like retelling of A Nightmare Before Christmas, and that was Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and both of these books were so good. So if you're wanting like a retelling like that, that's what we are at. So the next book that we have for this Monopoly board is the book number 3 needs to be a different genre than book number 2. So I am calling Sally's Lament a retelling because that is what it is. I suppose that you could say, oh, it's fantasy, it's this, it's that, but I'm counting it as a retelling. So for a different genre book, we're going to be reading Ninth House. This is technically a reread for me, but there's nothing in the rules that says that we can't do a reread. So I'm going to be rereading this so that eventually, like later in the year, I can move on to Hellbent, because Hellbent has been sitting on my shelf since it was released and I've not picked it up. So if you don't know what this book is, this is like a thriller, a fantasy thriller that is also dark academia, where we are following Alex Stern, and she is attending Yale University, and she is part of this like secret society. Yeah, so raised in Los Angeles, but yeah, she is basically something horrific happens to her because she's dropped out of high school after like growing up in LA and like living with her hippie mom, and she's just gotten into a lot of bad stuff. Drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, blah, blah, blah. But there's a terrible crime that happens, and Alex is offered a second chance, and she ends up attending Yale on a full-ride scholarship. But there's like a catch, right? So she ends up having to research into Yale's secret societies. That is what the people, the benefactors, the people that are paying for her to go to Yale on a full ride are requiring from her. And so there's just a lot of twists and turns and stuff like that. I do remember giving this book 5 stars. I really loved it the first time I read it. I am listening to the audiobook, and it's still really writing really well for me. I am like 8 chapters in, so I forgot to update this morning to let y'all know that I had started this, but I am about 8 chapters in, and I am enjoying this one. So I'll come in and I'll try to update daily, because I do have this broken down pages wise. If I have a physical copy of a book, that's how I read the book. A lot of times if I don't have a physical copy, I'll just say like when I get 50% I'll update, but I will try to come in daily and update for this since I have it broken down. But that is really all that I have for this one. So we have, after I read this, we have 2 more prompts that we have to fulfill for the whole month, and then we will have successfully completed Monopoly. So I think that we will be able to do that pretty easily. So I'm going to go now and get ready for bed, and I will be back tomorrow to read the next 8 chapters. So yeah, okay, goodbye. Hello friends, I'm here to update this mid-year vlog because I've hit a book slump, and that's very inconvenient for me. So I don't even know how far into 9th house. Let me check. I'm 40% through 9th house. I'm on chapter 11, so I'm actually a little bit behind like where I wanted to be, but that's okay. I am going to finish this tomorrow. It says I have 9 hours left. I feel like that's incorrect. Let me actually check the player settings and see like how many actual hours I have left, because I do listen at faster than 1x speed. So I have about 5 hours left. I have 4 hours and 54 minutes according to Audible. And here's the thing, I'm still loving 9th house. Like, it's going to be 5 stars again, but like I said, I'm on chapter 11, which is a bit behind where I wanted to be. I actually wanted to be to actually, it's a lot behind. I wanted to be to chapter 24 today, and I'm not. So tomorrow I'm going to be, I may listen to some more of it tonight after Ari goes to bed, but I am going to be listening to a chunk of this tomorrow for sure. Like, I'll be finishing it tomorrow and still loving it. But what will I pick up after that? I don't know. So technically I'm going to hit my goal for the week, because my goal for this week for a mid-year scramble is to complete 2 books. And I finished the Gargoyle and the Songbird the other day. I talked about that and I gave it 5 stars. So I will be able to complete my goal, but I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. So yeah, I was looking through like all of the projects and stuff that I need to work on, and I realized that I just put up a KU clean out episode 7 days ago. So I don't actually need to do another one of those for a little while. So I'm going to take a break from that and take that completely off my plate. But I do have an episode of reading my friend's favorite books. Luckily for that, most of those I have on audio. So I think I can burn through those, and then not burn through them, that's the wrong wording, but I can get through them easier, because currently like I really do not know what I want to read. I do really want to read what is it called? Spells for Forgetting. I do still really want to read that, and that is for the Friends Favorite Books project. So I think that I will finish 9th house, and then I will go pick up Spells for Forgetting and listen to the audio of that, because the audio is really good, and just kind of go with the flow. I've only finished 3 books this month. Yeah, so It's fine. But I wanted to come in and update and let y'all know what is going on, and that's what's going on. I've hit a book slump. Like completely just plateaued. Like I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna kind of just go with the fact that I've hit a book slump, and we're gonna deal with it because it's Friday and this video needs to go up either Sunday or Monday depending on when I can get it edited. Honestly, I may just close it out tomorrow. Yeah, I may just close it out tomorrow and put it up on Sunday because I also have to put up the vlog for Sunrise on the readathon video, which next week I have like a theme, so I'm hoping that will help to pull me out of this reading slump, which y'all voted for. But I also next week will be doing I'll be combining Mid-Year Scramble and Sunrise on the readathon because there's really no point in me doing 2 videos for this. But that's where I'm at. So week 2 is still like successful. It's just not as successful as I wanted it to be. So that's where we are, and I'll probably be back sometime in the morning to talk about Ninth House and my final thoughts on this. Again, I'm really enjoying Ninth House still. This is actually like one of my favorite books of all time. So I'm really happy for this. I'm just really struggling to read. So that's it. And I'll be back in the morning.